everyone, this is Nadim and you're watching CGTN. Today we are in Henan province, which sits at the heart of China, both in terms of geography and history. Now, Henan is a central province and it really takes pride in being the birthplace of the Chinese civilization. Around 200 emperors over 20 dynasties have chosen Henan as the cultural and political center of their governance. At the same time, this place, Henan, has not one and not two, but four of the 8 great ancient Chinese capitals. So we have Zhengzhou, we have Luoyang, we have Anyang, we have another one out of the 8 ancient Chinese capitals. But with all this great heritage that Henan has, it's really not that well known outside China. However, there's one thing about Henan that everyone knows, which is the Shaolin Temple where we are here today. And to understand a little bit about Shaolin Temple, the culture, the history, I am going to be joined by a longtime resident and a monk, Yan Li, to introduce me about this temple. Yan Li, thank you so much for having me. So, can you introduce yourself to us a little bit?
Sure. I'm Yan Li, and I'm a Shaolin monk. Today I'll be your guide. And first of all, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Should we walk and talk? This way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, Yan Li, tell me, how did you become a monk? Can you tell me about your journey all the way to Shaolin Temple?
Sure. Yeah. I came to Shaolin because Kung Fu, of course. Because most of our Dharma brothers, first of all, the reason we came here is to learn martial arts. Yeah.
So, when did you begin?
When I was 18 years old,
Okay.
and I spent another 18 years here.
Wow, so 18 years in
18 years.
in Shaolin.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you started with Kung Fu.
Of course, yeah.
And so going from a martial art to becoming an ordained monk, how did that happen?
After 2 or 3 years practice Kung Fu, I found something more valuable, more important for me. Because through the Zen practice, I can find peace inside. So also it's the root of Shaolin Kung Fu in the temple. Yeah.
So speaking about the temple, I don't think that a lot of people know the history of the temple. People know Shaolin because of the movies that they've watched, but not a lot of people know the long history. I think it's like 1,500 years.
Right.
So if you can introduce a little bit of the history.
Here's the square of the temple gate, and here is the temple gate.
So this is the entrance?
The main entrance. And the tablet, the Shaolin Temple, the 3 words of Shaolin Temple, is inscribed by Emperor Kangxi.
Okay.
So the temple is established on Wei Dynasty. So it's over 1,500 years old.
The Wei Dynasty, that's like 500 AD.
Yeah, 495 AD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was and how was it established? What's the story behind it? Because I think there's a lot of versions out there, and I just want to know it from you. How did it happen? Because there's, in all the stories, there's a very significant character, which is the Bodhidharma.
Actually, the founder of the temple is not Bodhidharma.
Okay.
The founder is an Indian monk. His name is Batuo. So he started to build the temple from Wei Dynasty.
Okay.
But the temple was the emperor of the Wei Dynasty built for him, because he's a teacher of the emperor at that time. So he built this temple for him. But after 20 or 30 years, Bodhidharma came from India.
And within the 20 and 30 years, there were already monks, Buddhist monks in the temple.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So before Bodhidharma came, there are already temple and monks here. Yeah.
Okay. So Bodhidharma arrived after 30 years after the foundation of the temple. Then what happened?
Then he started teaching Zen Buddhism from here.
Okay.
And to another places like Luoyang and another province. So there's the second master of Zen Buddhism name is Huike.
Okay.
And he came here to learn from Bodhidharma. Then we started, like we call Zen school from that time, because it's the birthplace of Zen Buddhism is from here. So now in China, a lot of temples are Zen Buddhism temples, Zen temples. So it's actually start from
They
here.
start from here. So
So
this is
it's
the
called
beginning
the
of
beginning.
the
Yeah.
Zen or Chan Buddhism
Yeah,
school of thought.
yeah, right.
So Bodhidharma came, and then you said he was teaching Zen Buddhism or Chan Buddhism. So what exactly is Chan Buddhism or Zen Buddhism? If you can try to, like, in simple terms for people who, like me, don't know what exactly it is. I mean, we use the word Zen a lot, but
Right.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that the way we use it linguistically
Sure. Yeah.
is different when it is from a religious point of
Yeah,
view. So,
Zen, the word Zen is from Japanese, but the Japanese Zen Buddhism came from here, from China. So in Chinese we call Chan Buddhism, but it's most the same thing, but have different names. But here I'd like to introduce you.
yeah, sure.
Here's the old temple gate, because that temple gate is built in Qing Dynasty. Before that, this is temple gate.
Okay.
Because there's a river from the in the front of the door.
Yeah.
So here is an old gate.
So from here to here, the temple grew in
Yeah,
in
yeah,
size.
yeah, yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Back to the Zen Buddhism.
Okay, but what does it say?
It's means 天下第一祖庭 means the first Zen Buddhist temple
Oh, okay.
in China. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's like a seal of authenticity that this is.
Yeah. It's inscribed by Qianlong. You know
Okay.
Qianlong?
Yeah. Jackie Chan.
No, not Jackie Chan.
No.
Qianlong, the emperor.
Oh, the
Qianlong.
emperor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
whoops.
emperors. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So we back to Zen Buddhism.
Sure,
So,
it's hard to talk, but there's we can try to understand it. It's when we talk Zen Buddhism, this means it's not just like you sitting there, just cross your legs or close your eyes. It's more about your thoughts, your mind. So it's a way to training your mind to be still, to be calm, to be concentrated, and to live well.
okay.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it. Yeah.
How can you teach someone, for example, like me right
Uh-huh,
now,
yeah.
to like be calm and concentrate?
I prefer to lead you to do it, but when you want to talk about it, we'll start with the point. Like you try to focus on your breath, you focus on your belly, or focus some question, to try to understand. The main purpose of it is to try to focus on it,
To focus on one idea?
Well,
Or it as in like the breathing?
yeah, a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. It makes you to be focused.
But sometimes, or most of the times,
Yeah.
this is not easy at all, because I take
I
from
know,
my
yeah.
experience, if I sit
Right,
by
right.
myself, you just have this rush of ideas coming to you,
Yeah.
and you'd rather just have all the noise around you just so they can, quiet all these ideas and all these.
It's the first step, but it's the most difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah, I know.
And so, where do you begin with this training? Do you just sit in a room and then try to focus on one thing? Or
Yeah. Because of that, so we prefer to start with Kung Fu. training.
Okay.
So we try to focus on your body, on your movements, without any other mind. Sometimes no mind is the highest, because when there's too many things in your mind, you'll be like, bothered. You cannot. I know you cannot. You cannot to just focus on what you are doing right now. Even when you are eating a meal. So here's the main hall of the temple, and there's a third hall in the temple. So it's called 大雄宝殿.
Okay.
So we have all the main events, our daily practices here. Yeah.
Can we explain a little bit what's happening here? So the incense, what does it?
Yeah.
Why do people burn incense?
It's old tradition. Actually, it's from. We have this tradition too, but it's also from other traditions like Indian traditions. So we have incense and inceners. And the very original goal is to use it to clean the air.
Okay.
But now is to show your respect to the Buddha or Bodhisattvas, or your something you are truly believed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here we have.
Here we have. Excuse me. There's you can see there's three statues.
Yeah.
And in the middle, we call Sakyamuni Buddha. He's the founder of Buddhist. Buddhism in India. Mm-hmm. And the other, this Buddha is from the ancient time.
Okay.
Means the Buddha of the past.
Right. Yeah.
And this Buddha is called
the
Buddha of the Pure Land. And he's the Buddha of the future. Yeah. And this statue in front is a statue from Thailand.
Okay.
From
so we're seeing a lot of influences from around Southeast Asia. We're seeing India. We're seeing Thailand.
Yeah. Because today in Southeast, most of them are Buddhist temple, Buddhist countries. So have a lot of followers and very crowded.
Yeah, I mean it's already the national.
Yeah, I know.
Week.
Yeah, it's the most busy time.
Yeah, I was actually reading that around 3 million people come to the Shaolin Temple every year. And
sometimes more than that.
With so many people, how can you find concentration?
I know.
Or is it not related? You could still find that, that concentration, that Zen moment in you, even with crowds and busyness around.
Our abbot said it's also a way for us to practice, also a chance to practice, because we talking about Zen Buddhism or practice. It means you have to face to people, but first of all it's yourself, then others, then you have the wisdom or the power of the power of understanding to understand the whole world and others. Then you can try to help us.
So you start with yourself.
Yeah.
And then from yourself you go.
Yeah.
Outside.
We call it 自利利他自觉觉他 means we want to benefit others. You have to benefit yourself. So it means you have to wake up yourself first. Then you can wake up
the others.
The others. Yes.
So I want to go back to an idea that you were just talking about. Mm-hmm. You said that one of the ways to achieve this calmness and this concentration is to practice kung fu. Yeah. There's a lot of thoughts around why do monks need kung fu, because I think in people's minds kung fu is like martial arts, a lot of speedy movements,
Yeah.
a lot of grueling training, and so what's the relationship between Zen Buddhism and this form of martial arts?
Yeah. It's a very typical question.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, even ourselves, at the beginning, we pursue to be compassion. But why you have to practice kung fu, even some weapons?
Yeah. If it's about compassion.
Yeah. But sometimes when we talk about compassion, it means it's not means you always smile to people.
Okay.
Or you speak softly. It's about power. It's about your skills. Sometimes when the parents talk to their kids, you cannot just smile to them. You have to give them
Tough love.
Yeah,
They say.
some rules. So when we talk about compassion, it's lead people to be there. It's not just something just about dreams. There's a way to do it. So for us to practice kung fu is because we can through practice kung fu to be powerful. Not only in your body, in your mind.
Okay.
You're not to hit anybody, but you are to fight with yourself, with your personalities, that habits, So when you can train yourself well, you can start, or you have the power to help others. And
This
here
is the second hall?
No, it's fourth hall.
Oh, we're already on the fourth. Okay.
Right. There's the 7 halls. This one in the middle. It's called Tanjingo. It's more like the library in the university.
Okay.
Yeah, we have all the sutras. But some sutras we keep in the other places.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of visitors and tourists. So we rebuilt it last year. Our current abbot almost rebuilt the whole temple.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things happen in history. Yeah. So
So people come in, or is it just off limits for visitors?
No, usually for us to do some like lectures, give us some lectures. We study a group study here. Yeah, but not open to the publics.
Okay.
Yeah, we have library on the site of temple, so it's open to.
Going back to martial arts, you said that you started with martial arts at the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
What attracted you to martial arts? Because at 18, maybe you didn't have the knowledge that you have today, 18 years later.
I know.
And so, as a young Yen Li,
Yeah.
what attracted you to this form of martial arts?
I have dreamed to come to Shaolin when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
After I watched the movie of Shaolin Temple.
Okay.
So
So it was a
or
10-year long.
yeah,
10-year long.
Yeah,
dream,
10 year long, yes.
And then you came here.
Or I can say that's my only dream of my childhood time.
Okay.
So when I really get here, I feel a little bit late that time because I think when practice kung fu, you should start, younger aged, I think it'll be better, but actually it's not. You can start any time.
Okay.
Even,
Anytime.
Yeah, anytime. Even yourself. So, let me introduce you the abbot's room first.
Okay.
Here's fifth hall in the middle line, and here's the room for the abbot to practice to meet with followers, the guests, and the President Putin of Russia, a lot of
he came here.
yeah, he came here. He watched a show from here. A lot of important meetings.
Happened here.
Yeah, a lot of happened here.
I have a question regarding the architecture because I'm seeing there's one line,
Yeah.
and then the temples or the rooms are in a row, one after the other. Is there a reason for that, or?
Temple is more like forbidden cities.
Yes.
Yeah, because the Chinese Zen Buddhist is came from India, but it's the emperor from Han Dynasty. He introduced it. He invite some Indian monks to come here, so it's from the royal family and down to the people. So he started kind of very high levels.
Yeah.
So he built the temple for the monks as this way.
Yeah.
So in the middle line, usually the abbot's room is on the side hall, but in Shaolin Temple, we have the abbot's room in the middle because of, first of all, it's because Shaolin Temple is the birthplace for Zen Buddhism. And secondly, it's because of the Emperor Qianlong, the Qing Dynasty, the great emperor.
Yeah.
He spent a night here.
Okay.
Yeah, so then we call this Dragon Hall.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why because the emperor always stay in the middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the most important person.
So after the introduction, before the introduction, you were telling me about your dream of doing kung fu, and then
yeah.
you doing it.
Right.
How was it at the beginning? How was the training at the beginning? And I don't know if you remember.
Sure.
That
I do
period
remember.
of time.
Yes. In the first ball, well, like most people, so if you choose to be to practice kung fu, it should be hard. Hard works. You training every day, but after a while, you really understand it. It's more about understanding or wisdom. It's not about something you can learn a lot of forms or I can do something other cannot.
Yeah.
But it's about yourself.
Okay.
So the first job is to compete with yourself,
Okay.
not others.
Okay.
When can you over your personalities, your desires? This means you can management yourself. Then you have to know what you really need, what you really want, and then you can learn or do what you need, and then you have the power like kung fu practice. You will not use it to hurt others, or because you know why you practice it. So
when do you practice kung fu? I mean, you see it in movies, and again, I'm basing it off movies because that's the general idea
Yeah.
of what people know of kung fu. It's like they have all these fighting scenes, people flying,
Yeah.
And so when would a monk practice kung fu? Because I'm sure you're not spending your days fighting.
But my personal experience about practice kung fu
Yeah.
is a little bit longer. I practiced kung fu from when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I have some, kung fu brothers. We run away from school.
Okay.
We to hit the floors and run away around the trees. That time,
You didn't have a master at the time. Like you didn't have someone to guide you. Was it just
I named myself a master.
a leader since young age?
Yeah. So at that time, I said to the other kids, I said, one day I'll bring you to the Shaolin Temple. Actually, when myself did it. So In the,
So you're a man of his words. You promised that you would
right.
be in Shaolin, and here we are.
Yeah. So professionally, when I started training Kung Fu, is from here. When I was 18 years old. So you're training from the morning to night, and in the third year, I found out a real Kung Fu is not just some movements or forms. You have to, because the word of Kung Fu is from Zen Buddhism.
Okay.
This means when you do something well, and you know how to do it well, the skills behind it, yeah, then that called Kung Fu.
Okay.
This not means I can fight with 10 people or something like that. Oh, here is Li Sheting,
Okay.
the 6th hall, and the second master of Zen Buddhism, named called Huike, and he gets the teaching from Dharma here, from Bodhidharma.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is a real point of Zen Buddhism, Chinese Zen Buddhism.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see there's a statue of them.
Oh, yeah. If we can get a closer look.
In the middle is Bodhidharma, and on his left side is Huike, because when he wants to show his respect, and he cut his left arm to show his respect and his heart to his great teacher.
That he's serious about learning.
Yeah, very serious. Yeah,
Okay.
very serious. So after that, that's
And that's where he was taught Kung Fu, or was it Buddhism from Bodhidharma?
it's more about Buddhism.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a story that I read, and I don't know how
Mhm.
truthful it is, so I'm just gonna tell it to you, and then you can tell me if it's true or not. So I heard that when Bodhidharma came to this region, he spent 9 years facing a wall on a mountain. I don't know how, and he wasn't talking to anyone. He was just sitting with his face to the wall. How is it true? Is it just a legend? Can you confirm?
I think it's more about legend.
Okay.
Because when Bodhidharma came to Shaolin, there's already a temple here, and already some monks. They follow different teachings. They follow the old traditions. But Bodhidharma brings something new.
Yeah.
So they're not really allowed him. So he chose to stay on top. There are 5 peaks. There's a cave in one of them. So he stayed in the cave for 9 years. My personal understanding, he's not just sitting there. He's waiting for something, for some people.
Okay.
Waiting for the time, waiting for the person, waiting for Huike.
Yeah.
And from that time, he already started teaching somebody who can understand him or allow his teaching.
Oh, wow.
So he spent 9 years to do that, and until Huike came.
So he started teaching them before he actually
Yeah, I think so.
officially started teaching.
Sometimes he even went to Luoyang. Luoyang is next by Song Mountain, very close. So I think he spent that long time to introduce his teaching to people. And then after Huike, he allowed it by different sects or traditions. It's a hard job.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
So this is the final.
Yeah, it's the last hall and also the oldest.
Oh wow.
Yes, it's built in Ming Dynasty, and now it's the oldest temple. So you can see the stones and the buildings. Yeah.
And we see a lot of people actually
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So if someone came to Shaolin to pray, would they have to go through each and every gate, or can they choose which gate they would want to come and then burn incense? Is there like, do they have to do all 7 of them until they get here, or?
It depends on yourself.
Okay.
Because in Shaolin, over 50% are tourists. So maybe they're not the followers of Buddhist, but they are. Some of them they like to burn incense and to make a pray or wish.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Here is
The oldest.
oldest. Yeah. 这个门开一下吧，开一下就他进来拍摄，房长安排的，房长安排的。哎呀，他这个正排着呢，这是一个。
I guess we're going in.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've seen this room before.
In the movie?
In documentaries.
Uh-huh.
So the reason why there's these holes in the on the floor is because of practicing too much. Is that?
There's 4 lines of those footprints, or 48 of it. So because in the late Qing dynasty, the monks practiced indoor, so they left those things in there.
Footprint, the marks.
The
here.
footprint. And this building, you can see, it's the oldest, first of all, but it's the most important hall in the temple, I can say. So you can see the paintings on the wall. It's also from Ming Dynasty.
Okay.
So until today, you can see the colors.
Are still preserved.
Yeah, still colorful. Right.
And are they telling a certain story here?
There's 500 arahants, means the students of Sakyamuni Buddha. So we call it 500罗汉. The main statue of this hall is called Pilu Buddha. It's the ancient Buddha, and so this hall we also call the Pilu Hall. So next, I'd like to introduce the master Yansen. Yeah, we are brothers.
Okay.
So I'd like to invite him to show you what makes the footprint.
Okay.
And I also like to invite you to try it if you like. First of all, let's see.
Let's see it from the master.
Master Yansen to show you what reason, what power to make it. Okay. 那你跟他示范一下这个脚可能咋来的。Master Yansen also the couch of the other warrior monks. You can see. Yeah, the power is from there. It's a basic training. It's repeat and repeat, but the power is from your, your chi, and through your legs and to the floor.
Okay.
So.
That was amazing,
Yeah.
even though it was so short. So how come he can go from, a state of calmness to like really high and then just bring it down? Because it feels like there was so much energy happening when he was doing all these movements, and then immediately he was just like, with one single breath, he was just able to calm himself down. So.
他说你这个力量是怎么来的？然后你这个脚提这么高的时候，这个力量从哪里灌到这个脚上啊？
是通过外在的形体配合我们的气，然后达到腰马合一，把力量打下去。
The root of the power is from your chi, and through your body, through your twist and your legs and your foot, and to the floor. So we call that 有气才有力. So your power is from your qi. So qi is the most important thing. So when you practice Zen Buddhism, you cross your legs and sitting there. First of all, to train your mind, and secondly, to practice your qi. You got it?
Yeah, I know. I
How about you?
Got it.
I prefer to invite you to try it. Okay, let me hold this for you.
All right.
你给他示范一下，然后大家弄两下。
I thought that this is not to be taught. This is like you have to discover your way around it, right?
It's basic training. If you want to start with Kung Fu, you have to start with this. And in this holy place, it's a lot of qi. To get your qi into this thing is shameful. 应该是咱给他说一遍。So your leg and your hand at the same time, yeah. Yeah, but this is the way to practice.
This is
Yeah. How do you start it? This
how you start. But
yeah.
you don't necessarily start in this.
No. It's been
This
protect.
Is for, yeah, this is for a specific.
Yeah. Time. So.
And so, how long does it usually take for people to actually grasp this sort of things? Obviously, it depends on a case by case, but in your case, for example, how long did it take you?
Until a year, at least a year. A year to 3 years, you'll get it. Because it's a basic training. So you have to, to practice it the whole life, I can say.
Because, from my understanding, Kung Fu has different forms, right? But
Yeah.
then this is the basic. This is what everyone needs
This
to
is
go
basics
through.
for all the forms.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the form that you practice?
I prefer the tradition forms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of focus on what exactly? Is it the feet? Is it the body? Is it the hands? Or even like equipment?
It's your whole body.
Okay.
To train your mind to work with your whole body. So, I'd like to invite Master Yanchen to show you a little bit.
Okay. So both of you have this practice the same form, or
We have different specialties.
Okay.
So, but Master Yanchen do it more well, I think. 你给他简单示范一段拳或者打拳，体验一下。So every form before you have to get your chi first. Yeah. So you can see the power is not just on your hand or foot, it's your whole body. Yeah. Okay. How about that?
that was great.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the whole temple in the middle line from the temple gate to the last. And the most valuable thing of Shaolin, I think, is the spirits. It's not something we have a lot of old sutras or some buildings. It's about the spirituals. So especially today, the people living in the cities.
They could use to just like
I think
stop and like have a
I think it's time for people to care about your mind, to care about your spiritual part.
What advice would you have? Because people in cities, especially in China, they lead a very fast life. And sometimes in the midst of, having to be here, there, having to like have an appointment and whatnot, you just lose sense of the present, and you're just sort of like automatically navigating through your day.
Yeah.
And so you're really not concentrating on yourself or anything at all. So what advice would you have to people?
While giving teachings outside of temple, I went to cities to lead people to give some meditation classes or some lectures. I always advise people not to. It's not about busy or not. It's always about your heart. You cannot stop your life, but you can stop something always disturb you in your mind. So that's something you can do. You cannot let the whole world slower or something to wait for you, but you can train yourself to control your speed. Sometimes you are busy is because the things make you busy. But the right logic is you doing things. You should make the things slower, to have the same speed with you. So it's always about yourself. So when you start training, it's not about you doing nothing. You can do anything, but after you get the skills or the power to management yourself, especially your mind, you can do things well or faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Yan.
Yeah.
And with this piece of advice, we come to the end of our show today. Again, I was in Shaolin Temple here in Henan, and just a small follow-up on one thing that I said at the beginning, which is Henan is home to 4 of the ancient capitals of China. I named 3 and then I forgot the last one. So the last one would have been Kaifeng, along with Zhengzhou, Luoyang, and Anyang. With this clarification, I come to the end of this show. This was Nadim from CGTN, and I'll see you from another destination another time. Thank you again.